I used to think mindfulness requires long sitting sessions, perfect conditions, and a clear mind. None of this is true. All it asks of you is just to notice. Welcome to the integration episode. So far, we've already gotten to, 3 episodes. They're all about returning to the practice. It kind of coming back in a more simpler kind of way and resting in the practice instead of striving to do the practice. Where did we get this idea that mindfulness and even meditation requires so much of us? So I can think of a couple of things. First is that our culture really is about doing something and pushing ourselves to do something until we achieve that kind of goal. Mindfulness is actually about dropping all these things and just sitting with what is. The more that I kind of strive to do the best, the perfect kind of meditation, the best kind of practice, it got harder and harder because that is not the intention of it. It's not to optimize meditation. The goal of meditation is not to be a good meditator. The goal of meditation is to befriend yourself. We're not sitting here with however minutes we set just so that the next time we sit again, we'll be like the best person to sit in our cushion. That is not the point. The point is life, right? We're just used to, hustling for our goals. It is so radically different. Just sitting down and just doing nothing. It takes a while to get used to it. That time of getting used to something that we're not used to doing before. That setting of a habit. Like I said in my previous episode, there is an intensity because we are changing habit patterns. There needs to be an intensity, an intention of changing a habit. And sometimes that intensity, it becomes striving almost, that it becomes a goal. And when you make meditation a goal, you can come out to be the person who follows meditation the best. But like I said, the goal really is to know yourself, to befriend yourself, to notice that pause. So you see, noticing something when it's like so tight in the noticing, what happens to my body? It also gets tight. When my body gets tight and constricted, what happens in meditation? It becomes, number one, it becomes so hard. Number two, I'm probably gonna have a lot more resistance doing the practice just because it's so hard. If it's noticing, we can do like mini noticing throughout the day. Like right now, you can look around your space. What are you noticing? Or even in my space, if you're just really like watching, thank you if you are. What do you see in my space? And doing it without judgment. And if there is judgment, just also noticing that judgment. And if there's another judgment about that judgment of the judgment, just noticing until like something's gonna get tired and then my mind would kind of go to somewhere else. No one is setting the rule that meditation has to be this exact amount of time. That you have to meditate for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes, for an hour. And so if it's a habit that someone is forming, and with how life is today, with having maybe shorter attention span, just because life is so fast. And this is why my suggestion, maybe set your meditation 5 minutes at first. And then if you feel comfortable with it, make it 10 minutes if you can, or maybe just 7 minutes. And gradually just form this habit of this practice. There are ways to actually be attuned with yourself without forcing anything. It doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't need to be this resistant, this this struggle to sit down. It's just sitting down. What does returning actually look like? I've started a few YouTube channels and I would just stop in the first video. Yes, first video, because I would be like trying to make it like this perfect YouTube video. And of course, since I'm a beginner, that would not happen. I needed to look at myself honestly. Even now, I don't have the skills yet to just make these videos. No amount of wanting to be good at something will make me better. And it's the same with returning to a practice that you want to cultivate. Coming back, there would be just days when I would come back to meditation after I've not been doing it for a long time, that I would just be struggling. I'd be so angry at just sitting down. I just didn't want to do it. I'm too not brave to admit it to myself. But what dropped is my expectation of what the practice will look like. And that is a practice. Just honestly, just noticing everything that's happening. And by noticing, I just knew myself more. I just noticed that I have a tendency to be angry at this, or do this, or not do this, or resist this and that. And the more I got to know myself, the more I realized that all those things that felt like resistance while I was sitting down, it's just all information about myself. One of the goals is befriending yourself during the practice. Wouldn't you want to sit down with a friend even if they're not feeling too well, even if they're not at their best? And if you do that to your friend, wouldn't your friend just feel like so supported, so held, feel like they matter, they are just that person that matters in this world? I just wanted to invite you right now and have this moment of just inner reflection. What do you really feel about your own practice? Or if you're not practicing yet, maybe think of what your intention is in doing this practice and just feel. For me, I feel so lucky to be connecting with people who are also practicing like me. It gives me hope that people are consciously wanting to go through life, even though meditation could be one of the hardest things that can be done. And so if you can just maybe put one or both hands on your heart and just feel that warmth of that intention of having a practice. Thank you so much for your practice, and I'll see you next time. Next Saturday, I would be posting the very first meditation offered here in Mindfulness.